In the remix of his 2005 song, Diamonds from Sierra Leone, now controversial rapper Kanye West rhymes,
Little was known of Sierra Leone and how it connect to the diamonds we own.
He samples the 1971 Bond song, Diamonds Are Forever, performed by British singer Shirley Bassey, who, in her powerfully brassy tones, sings innuendo laced lyrics about how diamonds are more reliable than men.
They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me.
More than 30 years later, accompanied by fellow rapper Jay-Z, West flips the ballad on its head to rap about the blood diamonds of the small West African country of Sierra Leone. Originally, the song was simply called Diamonds, and in it, West triumphantly raps about his success as an up and coming rapper of the 2000s. When he first wrote it, West knew nothing about the diamonds from Sierra Leone and their conflict filled history. It was when he later showed the song to fellow rapper and producer Q-Tip of A Tribe Called Quest and later solo fame that West was made aware of the baggage associated with the precious stones that his song was named after. Kanye West later said in an interview, "The very first thing I did was change the title of the song. From that point on, I wanted to do whatever I could to learn more and educate people about the problem." West changed the title of the song to Diamonds from Sierra Leone, filmed the video, and recorded the remix with Jay-Z in order to educate people about the problem. And it is from this that we gain an interesting window into the history and issues associated with the diamonds in Sierra Leone.
See a part of me saying, keep shining. How? When I know what a blood diamonds.
A blood diamond is, as defined by the United Nations, any diamond that is mined in areas controlled by forces opposed to the legitimate, internationally recognized government of a country, and that is sold to fund military action against that government. This very specific and quite impersonal definition was formulated during the 1990s when brutal civil wars were being waged in parts of Western and Central Africa by rebel groups based in diamond rich areas of their countries. It is during this period that our country of focus, Sierra Leone, was ravaged by its own civil war, which was largely fueled and exacerbated by blood diamonds. These are, to put it in more simple and tangible terms, diamonds that have been mined in a war zone, then sold by unauthorized forces in order to finance the buying of arms and militant action in opposition to the government. They are called blood diamonds because the ways that these precious stones are extracted are often horrifically violent, involving the use of forced labor of men, women, and most devastatingly, children. These blood-stained diamonds are then sold to merchants or smuggled into bordering countries and sold to respectable sellers on the open market, becoming indistinguishable from the legally obtained diamonds. Nevertheless, even diamonds obtained in a way that does not fit this criterion can involve serious abuses and exploitation.
I thought my Jesus piece was so harmless till I seen a picture of a shorty armless.
Before the rapping begins, in the introduction of the Diamonds from Sierra Leone music video, a man's voice in Sierra Leonean Creole intones,
We now walking at the Diamond Rivers. Take past sunrise to sunset. Under the eye them of the soldiers. Every day we not fearful with lives.
diamond mining is backbreaking work in and of itself. 80% of the diamonds extracted and sold today are alluvial, found in riverbeds and banks, and able to be mined without the use of much specialist equipment. Thus, labor is manual, and communities in diamond rich areas must make their living in the beating sun, sifting through riverbanks for the small, shiny gem. The relative ease with which diamonds can be found, as well as the type of labor required to extract them, leaves the industry rife with opportunities for exploitation. Diamonds were first found in Sierra Leone in 1930, then under the control of the colonial British government. British companies and foreign merchants quickly took control of the profitable new market, so that by 1937, British companies unearthed 1 million carats annually. Of course, very little of this wealth actually found its way into the hands of the Sierra Leonean people, but some jobs were provided. After Sierra Leone gained independence in 1961, its new government inherited a weak economy and poorly infrastructured state. Dependent on loans from international bodies, the government was plunged into a debt that meant less spending on essential infrastructure and public health services. None of this was helped, of course, by the authoritarian grip of the dictator Siaka Stevens, whose rule was marked by corruption and inefficiency. While foreign companies and illegal traders gained wealth from Sierra Leone's mines, the general population remained in poverty. In 1991, with levels of dissatisfaction and tensions at an all-time high, civil war broke out when a rebel group, the Revolutionary United Front, or RUF, claiming to be fighting for democracy, took up arms against the government. However, it soon became clear that democracy was not their primary goal when they began targeting citizens, taking control of local villages, and occupying diamond mines to fund their military action. Many commentators have concluded that the conflict was really over which group could have control over the country's diamond mines. Sierra Leonean locals were forced into slave labor, working in dangerous, dirty conditions, mining diamonds for rebel soldiers to fund their military atrocities. The horrors did not stop there. Rebel soldiers were known to chop off innocent people's limbs as a method of control, and children were abducted, drugged, and forced to become child soldiers. All of this chaos resulted in the deaths of 75,000 civilians, more than 500,000 refugees, the displacement of half of Sierra Leone's 4.5 million population. It's thought that blood diamonds represented as much as 15% of world total in the mid 1990s at the height of the diamond fueled wars in Angola and Sierra Leone.
Though it's thousands of miles away, Sierra Leone connect to what we go through today.
Today, almost all of the diamonds brought to retail markets come from conflict free sources, and Sierra Leone is no longer undergoing civil war. But blood diamonds are still thought to comprise a significant portion of the diamonds sold in open markets of wealthier countries like the UK. While in these countries, diamonds are sold for thousands of pounds, everyday people in places like Sierra Leone, whose labor is essential for the supply of the gems, are barely paid living wage, with many subsisting on less than £1 a day, selling their diamonds for as little as one-fifth of their worth when they finally leave the country. In Sierra Leone, official diamond exports have increased to over 140 million US dollars, but this money is not reaching the population. In Kono district, where diamonds have been mined for over 70 years, there is no electricity, roads are in disrepair, and homes have been destroyed by fighting. Over 100,000 men and children work as diamond miners. The hundreds of millions of dollars generated by the extraction of diamonds leave the country without benefiting anyone in the community. In wealthy countries like the UK and the US, we worship diamonds as not only the ultimate indicators of status and luxury, but also as symbols of fidelity and love. But how many are aware of the gross inequality and exploitation, the borderline slavery that enables these precious stones to make their way across the world and into our jewelry, our shops, our wedding rings? How many of us care? The exploitation at the heart of the diamond industry is the result of a complex web of history and economics that is difficult to entangle, let alone solve. But to quote the words of James Baldwin, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. There is something depressingly ironic about Kanye West, a Black American, the descendant of enslaved Africans, rapping about the modern day enslavement, abuse, and exploitation faced by Africans on the continent, many of whom are themselves descendants of formerly enslaved Africans freed in the early 19th century. Despite West's questionable and often contradictory politics today, he is to be commended for bringing this topic to the awareness of many people in the Western world, who otherwise may not have given a single thought to the diamonds from Sierra Leone.